Today's episode is as much an episode as it's not an episode. Today will be officially 2 weeks since, unfortunately, parting ways with OneScreen, who, as a lot of you know, I've spent the last 2 years, as a early part of the team and pretty intimate with the business. OneScreen was a big part of my life, even my son's life. That adorable little purple monster that you might see bouncing around some of the OneScreen marketing. That monster's name is Scrunchy, and that was a little bit of a creation from my son and a thing that he put on my desk one day early on when I was actually the VP of marketing at OneScreen. Little known fun fact there. So it's been 2 weeks, little state of the state. I've still got some great rock star team members, media planners, account executives, operations folks. I've got rock star talent that are eager to help another growing team. So if you want to get in touch about any of those folks, send me an email. It's out of home, all spelled out of home, not OOH. It's outofhomeinsider@gmail.com, all spelled out. Send me an email. Let me know what sort of talent you're looking for. I would love to plug you in. Got some folks even on the product team. So if you're looking for product people, if you're building technology inside of your organization, got folks who are coming fresh off the field. They are primed and ready to go. Top-notch rock stars ready to jump on your team. So it's November 28th. The turkey's digested. It's been 2 weeks since the event, as we'll call it. And what I am here to say ultimately is that Out of Home is alive and well. I've had a lot of conversations with really exciting companies, some that we are mutually interested in one another, others that we're just wanted to get reacquainted or get updated on what each other has been up to. There are a lot of companies that are either building cool stuff in out of home. Some of that is technology. Some of that are just interesting companies with a unique take on it. But for as much of the doom and gloom, recession, and everything that's going on in the world, it's pretty exciting to talk about out of home with other folks who are just as enthusiastic about the topic, and for that conversation to really be a positive one and to be one about growth. So that's just a little state of the state. That's a kind of just the seat of the pants feel as we close out the year. I know a lot of folks are starting to get ready for 2023, and some of that planning is taking place. So good luck to everybody out there. I think, in terms of formatting for the podcast and some of the content, I want to apologize for really the inconsistency, particularly the second half of this year. There was just a lot of stuff going on professionally that I was focused on, that the original roadmap was for it to ultimately align and bring a lot of content out to this community. So that ultimately didn't come to fruition entirely. So OneScreen's going to continue to do awesome, incredible work. And for myself and for the podcast, or Out of Home Insider, there's just a lot of stuff that I've got, on my mind and that I want to share with y'all. So this Thursday, actually, today's Monday, and you'll be hearing this probably in the first part of the week. So today's Monday, and it's intentionally hard to register for, but I'm giving a webinar on Thursday. It's going to be a LinkedIn live event. So you might see it pop up on your LinkedIn if we're connected, or if you follow Out of Home Insider. If we're not connected, or if you don't follow Out of Home Insider on LinkedIn, I'd encourage you to do that. I've linked to both of those in the show notes area below the podcast. You can connect with myself and just follow the podcast there so that you don't miss any of the updates. But this Thursday, I'm going to be giving a webinar. This is actually a webinar that started at the beginning of COVID and has been refined and optimized, and I want to share it with you all. So if you go to the Out of Home Insider LinkedIn page, it's listed there as an event. I've linked that in the show notes as well. So you've got 3 links right now in the show notes. You've got my personal LinkedIn profile, you've got the Out of Home Insider LinkedIn profile, and you've got this event specifically, and it's this Thursday. It's at 1:30 Eastern time. It's going to be a LinkedIn live event, and I'm calling it the 4 secrets to targeted offline marketing. So if you sell media, this is a great opportunity for you to kind of see, my take on it. And maybe there's a few things that you can take out of there and use for yourself. If you are a marketer, then this is going to help the lens through which you see out of home fitting into your marketing mix. I think that there's going to be a lot of useful knowledge in there. We'll talk about, the targeting stuff. We'll talk about the measurement stuff. We'll talk about ways to actually deploy and execute campaigns and some different things to think about. So that'll be a lot of fun. And ultimately why it's hard to register for this first one is because what I want to do is I want to start to do this weekly. So at the beginning of COVID, I delivered a webinar like this one for 10 straight weeks, live every Thursday. So that's the intention here as well. The first couple I'm going to use like a dress rehearsal because it's been a little while, and I'm going to try some different things out here. So, so be gentle, but come check that out on Thursday. Again, the link is in the show notes wherever you're listening to this. So come check that out. That's going to be this Thursday. Then I'll get a landing page set up and we'll get all that stuff going. I've got some other stuff in the works too. But most specifically, I want to hear from you. I've got plans to go back through some podcasts, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But I want to hear from you. So please use that email that I gave you earlier. It's all spelled outofhomeinsider@gmail.com. That's one of the reasons I need to go set the landing pages and getting easier to email address and all that stuff. Got to get all that stuff set up. Some proper systems and frameworks in place. But I want to hear from you. I want to hear what is the content that you need. What is it that you're trying to add to your toolbox? What do you want to hear more of? So please send me an email on that. That's one of the best ways. Or if you've already gone and connected with me on LinkedIn, send me a message, say, hey, Tim, I heard that podcast. I have this idea. If you want to be on the podcast, always looking for new guests. That's a great way to help me come up with more ideas for the community. Is if you are in out of home and you've got an interesting concept or something that you want to share with the community, reach out. This is your platform. So where I'm at right now is closing out November, working on some of the things, getting ready for the webinar. But for all of December, what I've decided to do is to do a flurry. See what I did there? Snow flurry. December, it's winter. Jingle bells, all that. Is to do a flurry of short form episodes. So shout out to my man, Jean-Paul Guédien. When you listen to the guest spotlight episodes, that awesome little rap intro and outro music to the guest spotlight episodes. That's rapped by Jean-Paul Guédien from JPEG, Hawaii. So Jean-Paul dropped me this podcast called Founders Podcast. And if you're a podcast listener, I strongly encourage you check it out. I will also link to that in the show notes as well, so you can check that out. So I've got a few things, right? My LinkedIn, Out of Home Insider LinkedIn, the event LinkedIn, and the Founders Podcast. I should really write all that down. So 3 LinkedIns and 1 Founders Podcast. Okay, it's like a shopping list. I'm sending someone to the store, except it's me, and it's my follow up for this episode. So this Founders Podcast is awesome. This guy reads books about founders, and then he breaks them down and makes it so that you don't have to read the book if you don't want to. So you can get all of the best insights from all these founders. It's an awesome podcast. So if you're into that sort of thing, check that out. But what I'm going to do for December, and I think that this would be a great way to recap the years going forward, is what I'm going to do for the entire month of December is re-listen personally to all of the episodes from this year and break down all of the highlight moments from each of those podcasts. So really taking out the high level, the super, hot take stuff, and distilling it all down from all the great guests that we've talked to over the past year and putting out in short form episodes so you can get the best stuff as you close out the year here too. So that's everything that's on the agenda. So check out all of those LinkedIn things. Come check out the LinkedIn Live on Thursday if you want to, see some behind the scenes stuff on targeted offline marketing. We'll talk about how to do targeting stuff. We'll talk about some free stuff. We'll show you some paid stuff, introduce some different platforms that maybe you didn't know. We'll talk about measurement. We'll talk about different ways to deploy it in ways that make sense for your brand and budget and goal and all that. So whether you're advising brands or you are a brand yourself thinking about adding out of home to the mix, that's the place to be, is on Thursday at 1:30. Come check that out. All right, I think that's it. I think that's all for the update. I'm going to stop this so I can publish it, which is all redundant to you. So until next time, that's all I got. And I'll play a little music here since you listened. See ya.